Hi there, Jeremy here. In this video, what I want to do is just talk to you briefly about the Pellowah levels. Now in Pellowah, there are actually 3 levels. Level 1, Level 2, and Level 3. The Level 3 is the teacher level. Now, if you are familiar with things like Reiki, in Reiki they call it the Reiki Master level. At least that's how it's known in the West. In Pellowah, you don't have any master level, but the level 3 is something similar. The idea really of just calling it level 3 or the teacher level is that no one can ever really become a master of something. You're always learning, you're always growing. And so the founder of Pellowah, Practitioner, she went, you know what, let's not give it this grandiose term, let's just call it level 3. Now, in fairness to Reiki, the original term for the master level was Shinpiden, which actually just means mystery teaching. So it's sort of like a bad translation even in Reiki to call someone a Reiki master. But just to avoid any confusion, the level 3 in Pellowah is the teacher level. Now, let's have a closer look at the levels so you understand what you'll learn in each level. Now, level 1 is known as the practitioner level. So when you do that, you'll learn how to connect to the Pellowah energy and then use it to give a really powerful healing on someone else. Now, as a rule, the Pellowah energy is really done on other people. So at least classically, in the original system devised by Practitioner, there's no self-Pellowah. You can't really do it on yourself. Now in my courses, I actually show you ways to channel in energy so that you can then work on yourself. Now, Practitioner would say this actually isn't Pellowah energy, but I'll show you how to connect to energy anyway, using kind of Pellowah-inspired techniques. But for Pellowah itself, the main, at least original focus is working on others. And that's what level 1's going to do. It's going to connect you straight away through an attunement process. That's kind of like a matrix download, an energy transfer where you get connected or tuned in to the Pellowah energy, and immediately after that you can then access this energy and use it to heal other people. So it's very simple. You get it straight away, you tune in, bang, on the first day you're doing great Pellowah healings. Okay, so what do you do on the second day then? Well, the second day, and that's level 2, in level 2, what happens is, well, the aim of it is really to expand consciousness. Now, interestingly, Pellowah was originally designed purely for this purpose. It wasn't actually designed as a healing method. It was designed to help practitioners expand their consciousness, connect more fully with their intuition, connect more fully with their higher self. These kind of things. What they discovered subsequently was, as a kind of a byproduct of doing this, or of a byproduct of helping other people to connect more fully with their true selves, it then led to healing of the physical body, healing of the emotions, these kind of things. But it wasn't the primary or original purpose of Pellowah. So level 2, it's an interesting level because it's very kind of methodical. It's almost like a combination lock, and you've got several components, several bits, and each bit kind of works together to create this greater whole. So it's a little bit like a jigsaw puzzle, and you find in the morning what you're doing is you're playing with these 7 Pellowah symbols. They're very powerful symbols, and each one's doing something slightly different. So some are working on your chakras, some are working on your auric field, some are working on your light body. They're all doing different things, and when you pile kind of one on top of the next, on top of the next, on top of the next, you create this holistic effect, which is very, very powerful. And that then gets you in the perfect state for the afternoon part of the level 2 course, which is where you then will practice more healing. But this time when you practice the Pellowah healing on other people, you'll feel there's been a shift because your energy is now quite different thanks to the use of the symbols. Then you get a level 2 attunement. Now the level 2 attunement is many times stronger, in fact, than the level 1 attunement, and this often creates kind of big shifts inside people. And so they find that after the course, they maybe 3 months after the course, if they look back on everything that's happened, they're like, wow, so much has changed. It's not uncommon for people to really have clarity on what they should be doing with their life, and as a result, they often create quite big shifts. They might leave their job, get new employment, do all sorts of things. There can be a big kind of shake-up because their energy has shifted. They've kind of gone up to a higher level, and as a result, anything that doesn't kind of match that higher vibration just kind of falls away. So it can be a time of change, but it's really exciting because for a lot of people, they suddenly get that clarity on what they should be doing with their life. Okay, so level 2 then, you've got the attunement, but after the attunement, there's another really important process, and that is this higher self meditation. So in a certain sense, the whole of level 2 is structured in building you energetically to a place where you can then do this higher self meditation. You can then connect to this deeper part of you, and as a result, then you gain all sorts of wisdom, and you can start to experience more and more of life through this higher self perspective, which is kind of the aim of the level 2 course. Okay, then we go to level 3, and that's the teacher level. Now, Kachina, who's the founder of Pellowah, is actually the only person who can teach this level. So if you do level 3 with Kachina, you can then teach levels 1 and 2, but she, at least at present, is the only one who can teach level 3. So what level 3 does is it prepares you to then teach, teaching those level 1 and 2, as I've said. But interestingly, a lot of people do it not so much because they want to teach, but just because it really will further expand your consciousness. It'll further connect you to, your higher self, or that deeper part of you, that inner core. And as a result of this, people often find that they're way more intuitive, and I said earlier with level 2, they have way greater clarity. Now, in another video, I really talk about the benefits of Pellowah. I go a lot deeper and tell you many of the positives that will occur, typically if you study Pellowah. But for now, it's good to know that, look, level 3, you've got a very powerful attunement, and that again will create big shifts. And so you might want to do it because you want to then work with Pellowah and teach people, but many people just do it for the benefits that happen once thanks to the attunement process. Okay, now interestingly with Pellowah, there actually aren't any time gaps or necessary time gaps between the levels. So if you did something like Reiki, the standard kind of time gaps would be between level 1 and level 2, you've got a minimum of 3 weeks. And then between level 2 and master level, you've got about a 1-year gap. With Pellowah, you can actually do them back to back to back if you so desire. Now, personally, although I think it's great to do level 1 and 2 kind of back to back, I reckon it's a good idea to have a bit of a gap before you do level 3. The idea is you can gain valuable experience, working on other people in that time, just working with the Pellowah energy. And that means that when you get to level 3, you'll be able to ask more questions. You'll be able to really understand more deeply the things that are being taught because you've had that practical experience. So it's not strictly necessary, but if you ultimately go on and decide to do level 3, I think it's a good idea at least to wait a few months just to get that necessary Pellowah experience, and that will give you more. Now, of course, Kachina, who created Pellowah, she might disagree on this point, but just from my experience, I think you can't lose if you do that. You may well find that you can go on, and if your intuition guides you to do that, by all means do it. But generally speaking, I think it's a good idea to have a little bit of a gap just to gain that experience. Okay, so that's it. That's a kind of an overview of the 3 Pellowah levels. Hope that's helpful, and I will see you on another video.